morning, good morning. When I was 10 years old, like any 10-year-old boy, I wanted to mow the yard. And I've been bugging my dad. Dad, let me mow. No. Dad, let me mow. No. We all know those stories, how they go. My dad finally let me mow the yard. And he's got this mower, and it's big. When you're a kid, it seems huge. And it had this big lever that you would engage to drive yourself propel for it. Move that lever into gear, and off we go. And next thing you know, mow down a tree. That was quite vociferous with me. I learned all kinds of good words after that. Why do I tell you this story? Well, here 30 some odd years later, I'm an arborist, tree person. That tree's still there, still growing like a champ in the stories it can tell. Why do I tell you about that? I always go back to, I honestly believe it was the way my dad planted the tree, the care he took in planting the tree, that allowed it to keep on living and grow. That's what I feel. Well, I'll talk to people and tell them about things like that or what have you, and the importance of good tree planting. And there may be older generations out there that say, I'd be too old to see that tree live. My 90-year-old grandpa was still planting trees at 90 years old. When he passed away at 94, I got to talking to him. Grandpa, why were you planting trees like that? Well, Mark, you remember the memories that created for you. I can take you out to 66th and Troost, where I grew up, show you where the tree was that we planted. And so, no matter what your age is, if you got a kid around, a grandkid, a neighborhood kid, what have you, grab them, take them out, plant the tree. The legacy that you create with it is incredible, because they'll walk by later on in life. I remember back in whatever year, that time I planted the tree. That's how important trees are to me. But it all comes back to good, proper planting. I can't tell you how many days of the week I walk up to a customer's home, what's wrong with the tree? And it's a brand new tree, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. And I start to look at it close, and it's too deep into the ground, and that root system is suffocating. It's struggling, chokes off and it dies, and it's sad. Because had they used just proper, simple techniques at the front side, I wouldn't be out there giving them the coroner's report. So, what I need you guys to do is picture a tree with me a little bit. When we look at that tree trunk, nice and straight, but we get to the ground and we see that flare. And we all picture that, where you see that first root that's entering the ground. I'm seeing some nods of heads, that's good. That's what I want you always to remember when you plant a tree. When I got started in the business working for a neat old fella up in downtown Overland Park, Jeff Elliott, he always taught me, use the top of the root ball as a planting depth for that tree. You got your nice round root ball, and you dig your hole, you make sure it's as deep as the root ball is tall, bingo, done. Not anymore. During the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, we've had a housing boom. It was incredible, and it changed the ways in which trees were produced. It used to be when you'd walk into the nursery and we'd tell you, use the top of the root ball as that benchmark for planting depth. The top of that root ball was where that root flare was, that first order root. And that was dead on. That's exactly where we wanted you to plant the tree. Well, that housing boom, what that created was a huge demand for plant material. The way the plants were produced changed, and it changed such that that root flare now has gotten buried inside the root ball of the tree. Good arborists will tell you, when you go out to plant that tree, we want you to look for the root flare. And that may mean digging off 2, 3, 6 inches of soil right off the top of the root ball. Well, we aren't supposed to do that. The nursery guy says, don't disturb the root ball. No, don't sweat it. Trees are tough. We just saw this last weekend, a big storm blew through. You'll see a lot of those trees fight to live, but they've got to have a good foundation. So strip the soil off the top of that root ball, whether it's a ball and burlap tree, or if you buy them in a plastic container, do the same thing. Look for that first root. That's what I want you to use as the benchmark for your planting depth. Find that first, then use that to determine how deep to dig your hole. And there's some good logic here too. It saves you a little labor. You're taking taking 6 inches of soil off the top of the root ball. That's 6 inches less digging I gotta do. I like that. So use that technique. You know, no matter how wide you dig it, no problem. Don't dig too deep. So pretty simple techniques. And that's really it. That's all there is to it. Look for that root flare. Go grab that neighborhood kid, your grandkid, what have you. Help them plant a tree and help plant a legacy.